witnessed that tragic loss. Are you safer because Bob and Tukey are dead? Is the world a better place now? But there still remains the pesky issue of actual innocence. There is no doubt that innocent people have been murdered by the state. We know this because the system of so-called justice is so badly broken that justice itself has been brought into serious doubt over and over again. The institutional racism is so ingrained that nothing short of a total do-over can begin to address it. The system has elected judges and elected prosecutors. Being tough on crime is the only way to win elections. They have to keep us afraid of them and reassure the voting public that we are not them. But 25 men in Angola representing 404 years of wrongful incarceration, and folks, we barely started. Jurors are too often the victims of the process as well. You cannot ask a citizen juror to render decisions of life and death without irrefutable proof that they possess all of the facts of the case. And the system that we have now, jurors are nothing more than tools of the state, unwitting pawns in a deadly game. I started an organization called Jurors for Justice with two things in mind. First, I wanted a place for jurors to go for peer support. Having been a victim of this system myself, I felt so alone and so ashamed. The lawyers, all of them stellar members of humanity, could not relate to my experience. They didn't know what it feels like to sentence someone to death, never mind an innocent man. I've been contacted by half a dozen jurors, either directly or through their lawyers. There's a bond that we share that is strikingly similar, whether we felt the defendant was guilty or innocent. I have not met one juror who was not seriously traumatized by the experience, and that's just wrong. The second purpose was to file amicus briefs in any court that I could until some judge somewhere says, hold on a damn minute. This is not how it's supposed to work. We can't use people like this. To date, I filed 2 briefs in 2 different state courts, the Louisiana Supreme Court, 2 different federal courts, and most recently the US Supreme Court. To date, all have been denied without comment. But curiously, the language from my brief frequently shows up in their opinions. I'm going to keep doing it until some judge somewhere pays attention to the part that the juror plays in the process. And I'm in it for the long haul. I learned something yesterday that I'm very excited about. My brilliant nephew Charlie, raise your hand Charlie, has talked to his advisor at Doane. Charlie's a junior at Doane in business and computer science. Charlie proposed the development of a website for Jurors for Justice, and it was accepted as his capstone project. I am honored to have my nephew working with me. So talking about being dismissed without comment, Troy Davis knows a little something about that. The US Supreme Court recently decided not to hear his case and started the clock going again on his execution. Never mind that 7 of the 9 witnesses in his case have since recanted their testimony. Troy will soon get his 4th execution date in 1 year. Is there anything more cruel and unusual? But yesterday, Joseph White walked out of prison. The first Nebraska exoneree. And with old Sparky in retirement, y'all are going to have some copious amounts of free time. So I'm counting on Nebraska. I'm counting on you to keep the pressure on for real criminal justice reform. I want you to lead the way to an outright ban of capital punishment and then lead the way to a national moratorium on the death penalty. You are so close. Keep up the fight. We can do this. Thank you very much.